thing.
Yeah, it's now. It's on.
Are we live now? Are we?
I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see if this one. Hold on. Okay, this one hasn't started yet. Okay, you need to delete some of the rooms for us to know. Okay, so, it still says waiting for. Let's try the one at 1822, and then we'll see if that one's working.
Well, on my screen it says live, 5 people watching. So
yeah, but there's oh, it's not any of these. Okay, so let's go the first one. Where's the fucking what have you done? I can't find the first one now. I don't think the first one's up. My thing says an hour ago. There's only 2. And none of them are working on it.
Right. Okay, let's try about this fucking thing out.
If you're watching this, we don't know which show we're on. We don't. Ben set like 30 up. And we don't know what it is. If you're watching this and you've got the URL, send it to us on Twitter so we can fucking send it. Because we don't know where we are. We've lost complete control.
Also, who am I?
Who are any of us, really? When you think about it, what is life? Hold on.
Oh, something's happening.
Yeah, it's definitely. I got it. It's this one. We've got it. We've got it. Okay. I can see the chat now. Yeah. There's 9 people watching, so we've already exceeded your average Brett Keane video. And
right.
Okay, I'm sending it out now. Okay, start the shit. Okay, get all that. Start now.
Right. Can you send me the URL on Facebook? Right. Okay. Just it's only going to be 1 second, okay, and then it'll all be sorted out. Okay.
Okay, 1 second. Okay.
Professional, guys. Professional.
How do I will say this? As much as I don't like a lot, how do people like Alex Jones get their head around this fucking shit? I can't. I've never done a single fucking live stream within about 15 minutes of me fucking actually hitting go live, and yet people like Alex Jones and Paul Joseph Watson, they can figure this shit out so fucking easily. I've never known anything like it. Okay, you're getting it now since you're on Facebook now. There you go.
Cool. Hang on.
Okay, we've got Lady Columbia. Pussy Lord is here. Napalm. Napalm's asking, how is he better than this? I don't know, Matt. That is a good question, actually. Why should start? How the hell is Napalm able to do this better than us? This is a fucking indictment. That is a damning indictment of.
And I can't say anything to it. It's just. It's the most shambolic thing. It is more shambolic than Brexit and the fucking election put together.
A is here. Someone called A. That's all it is. Hello, A. Merciful Radio. I'm relevant. To Coughlin, we did total D-bags together. That was then, man. It's changed now. Hello.
Yes, that's working, I think.
James Manning, 23 people in here now. We are fucking running. All right.
Right, we'll just test it. If when you talk there'll be an echo, or is it when I talk? We can check with them.
Can you ask everyone watching? Is it when I talk? Are you hearing any feedback or anything, or is it? Okay? It'll take a couple of 30 seconds for them to get the question. and then we'll find out. Okay, you can. Dick, it must be the fluoride. Okay, ASM has a bit of an echo. Someone's saying, "No, the streak is good." Yeah, someone's talking about the weather. It sounds lovely. It sounds lovely. The stream is
right.
okay. One person said there's a bit of an echo for you. But everyone else says it's fine. So it seems that they're saying you've got an echo, but not me, which is weird. So obviously
when I mute myself, basically.
Yeah, just mute yourself. Just don't say anything. I mean, you've made the fundamental error of asking me to come on a fucking live hangout, and anyone who does that, the reason I've never had a co-host in 8-9 years of doing live streams is because whenever I go on one where there's other people, they cannot get a fucking word in edgeways. So
that's why I asked you to do it, so I don't have to do any effort apart from
I see,
all the fucking about at the start.
Oh, that's okay. So you're just milking this for fucking revenue. You're using the good Coughlin name.
Can you get revenue out of 34 views? I don't think that's possible, is it?
Well, not at the moment, no. But I mean, obviously this will live on the internet for a while. This won't just die off. This will carry on. This will. The thing is, it's like the revenue. I don't know how it works now with the whole, because most of my videos have still got ads on them, apart from a couple. But the thing is, it's like the ones that don't have ads, even the ones that have ads, some of them make no money, even though they've got ads on them, and then some of them get same amount of views but make a bit. I don't know how this ad revenue thing works now. Matt is still fucking pissed off that I don't remember the live streams we did together. Matt, you don't remember anything ever. Don't blame me because I forgot about something that happened fucking 3 years ago.
Is there anything in that? Is that who are we talking about here?
Who, Matt? Who's Matt? Napalm. Napalm I'm talking about. All
right.
He's basically. Coughlin's video quality is actually good. I know. I've moved into the year 2004 with my. What am I, dog shit? I'd imagine Dick listens exclusively to Death Grips. Actually, I don't. I've only listened to 2 of their songs. I forgot what day it was this morning. Matt, that's nothing. Do you know what I did a couple of weeks ago? I got up at normal. I woke up at the Oh Christ 100 hours, like I normally do. Got dressed, and I didn't notice until 5 o'clock that I had my trousers on backwards. That's where I'm fucking going. Ben's gone quiet. What
I'm trying to do is the chat is very, very slow on my side, possibly because my computer's a piece of shit. But you're about 2 or 3 minutes ahead of me on the chat, so I have no idea what you're fucking talking about.
Okay. Merciful Radio asks, Dick, how do I get my brother to stop spouting Tory rhetoric? Kill him. I mean, that's the best. I would murder him. I'd just go up to him in the sleep, pillow over the face. It's just, sit there. Don't, no mercy. Don't hold back. I don't know. You have to argue these people out of it. He's he's just got into politics this election. Don't worry. If he's young, he'll soon regret it. Sometimes unfortunately, it takes a while to talk people round. You need to get past the feelings barrier with people. You're going for your militant anti-theist is trying to get blocked by Dave Rubin. Motherfucker, I got blocked by Rubin weeks ago. I got blocked by Rubin. I don't even know what I said. I don't think I've only started talking about Dave Rubin for the last couple of days. And I'm blocked. I don't even know what I said about David Rubin again, but I'm blocked by Rubin, Thunderfoot, Stefan Molyneux, Aureni, Richard Dawkins, Tommy Robinson. Who else? There's another cunt.
Trump.
There's another cunt. Who?
Trump.
Trump, fucking Donald Trump's got me blocked on Twitter. That was ages, that was about a year ago. That's what swayed me towards wanting him to win. Because I was like, I want to be blocked by the president of the United States on Twitter. How cool is that? You know, that's
right.
There's other people.
Okay, right. I think it's all good now. The last person to leave a message was Stircore Dominus. Is that correct?
Yes, and he's talking about being blocked by Sargon.
Include him in your block list just a second ago.
Yeah, the thing about I haven't been blocked. Sargon follows me on Twitter. I don't follow him though, but he's unsubscribed from my YouTube channel. I think maybe.
Oh, really?
I think it had something to do with the video I did about a month ago about Thunderfoot and Lacey and all that. And I mentioned him in that, and I sort of like, because for about a year, he's been wanting, like, he and I sort of have almost been on the verge of me being on a hangout with him. And I've been constantly struggling for about a year to say, is it really worth it? What is the point of doing it? And is it going to just be, you know, because the only way it's going to I'm going to come out of it with any fucking, the only way I'm going to come out of it unscathed is if I sit there and just try and avoid any confrontation. Otherwise, I'm just going to end up. And so and then he just started going more. And then he gets to a point, it's like, I thought maybe it's like, because he seemed to have this thing where it never made sense to me why he liked my videos and why he liked what I did. And arrogantly in my own egoism, I thought maybe he likes me because I've reached the monster. Maybe I've gone sort of like, maybe I've managed to talk to him in a level like there's a bit of person left in there that I can fucking revive and come back to life. And then it just got to the point of like, no, fuck this. He's just done a video, by the way, Sargon. I just saw this on Twitter. He's just done a video about the Finsbury Park Mosque incident, literally saying that the guy who did it was wrong, but his reasons were logical. He's literally just saying that you can understand why the guy did it. I mean, where you go? And so I just sort of said to him, I said in that video, you know, I'm not interested in talking to you anymore. It's just not worth it. I'm dropping this veil of this thin Gossamer thin veil of civility now.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good thing overall. I mean, I don't see the point of like you say, what's the point in you two even conversating? Because all he want is you to. I mean, if you did it now, all he wanted is you to talk about Thunderfoot or something. You know, it's just. Well,
no, actually, what he did. See, the thing was, originally he got back to me and I said, well, what do you want to talk about? And what he said to me was, he said this very sort of, he picked a very incredibly vague and, quite frankly, useless fucking subject, which was the malaise of the left, which would have been really funny to debate considering what's happened in the recent election. But the thing was, I sort of said, well, that's just a little bit too vague for me. That I don't even know what that means, like the malaise of the left. So what I actually said to him was right, I came up with I wrote a fucking whole synopsis idea for a fucking debate. And it was like, right, let's talk about, because I made a video a little while ago, and I've done this several times. I've talked about how, you know, the idea that political correctness is killing comedy, and that are people these days more sensitive, and censorship. And I came up with this idea that would give both of us a sort of even keel on a debate. And it was, are people more sensitive than they used to be? Is censorship worse than it used to be? And is political correctness actually bad for creativity and such like that? And I figured it would be a good subject because I can talk about it from a perspective of being a comedian and someone who's like, you know, who's been that, and being on YouTube. And he can talk about it from a perspective of a guy who's got a much bigger channel than I've ever had. And so he's probably dealt with, you know, stuff that, you know, much more than I do. So, you know, from that point, we've both got our different perspectives. We're both coming from different positions. So it's a good debate. And he never got back to me on that. He never got back on, you know, and it just went, and then I just got to the point, I was like, I couldn't be bothered anymore. And then I just sort of stopped messaging him to talk about it.
I'm going to make an assumption, and it's a bit of an obvious one, but it sounds like that would involve a little bit of work on his side, and I'm not sure he's too keen on that kind of thing, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, I don't watch his videos. I really don't. I never have done watch his videos. There's no point. There's a guy called Chris Benoit in the chat who's posting just endless shit. But who's clogging the chat up.
Oh right, I just spotted that.
Okay, but yeah, I don't know what I've seen. Back and I've seen certain back and I mean when he interviewed Thunderfoot about Brexit, and I'm sat there going, I don't want to fucking pick a side on this one. You know what I mean? It's like reminded me of that Stuart Lee joke when he says he talked about Russell Brand versus Jeremy Paxman. He said Frost versus Nixon. It wasn't. It was more like a foghorn. It was like a monkey throwing its own feces at a foghorn. And that's what. And the thing is, it's like I'm like he wants to talk about what he wants to talk about, but I'm thinking I'm at a disadvantage already because I'm going to be on your channel. I'm on hostile territory. So let's, you know, and this is why I sort of avoid live debates. I hate live debates on YouTube, especially. There are some people who can do it quite well, but I hate doing it because it just doesn't get anywhere. And it's not even a debate. It's just it's literally just. It's a tactic to get out of actually talking about something in a productive way. So you can just drag someone onto your channel, and then and it's a spectacle. It's what it is. It's a public spectacle.
You're right. I don't know. I can't remember who said this. I'm going to say ContraPoints, but I might be wrong. After he did his hangout with Blair White, he was saying stuff maybe on Twitter, which is like, you know, you can get some points across, but the live situation takes away. You need stuff in front of you, like a piece of paper in front of you, like read stuff out. And they were doing it off the cuff, and it was just not.
So we could be talking about something like if I was to talk about, let's say we were talking about terrorism, and you know, someone could sit here and say, well, in Luxembourg last year there was an increase in Islamic terrorism by 412%, and I could say, okay, I don't fucking know whether that's the case. I don't know what it's the case. Or I could sit here and say something. You know, live debates are just they're about tripping people up. I've seen so many live debates where the person who's clearly right on the issue fails badly. You know.
Well, this leads us on to someone that I know that you've been talking about today. In fact, you've been quite busy today. You've made a video. Did you actually do your podcast in the end?
I didn't. I've got it ready. I'll probably do it on Saturday or maybe even Friday if I can. But yeah, I will do that. I'm trying to do it more regular. I'm trying to do it like once every 2 weeks at least, if I can.
Yeah. So the question I was going to ask you is Lacey Green.
Right.
First of all, you've done a video about her today. Because you've done a video about her today, we're going to not talk about what you talked about per se. Okay. We're trying to expand it somewhere else. She wants to do hangouts with people who are on, well, I suppose now her side, but were perceived to be on the other side originally. Yeah. If she does hangouts with them, and with all of the problems that we've just talked about that happen in hangouts, right? What's she going to do? Is she going to Reuben them? Is she going to be Dave Rubin to their...
Okay, here's the first problem. Okay, she wants to have these debates between people. She keeps reaching out to people on Twitter. So, like, she did one the other day, and that she sent out this tweet saying, you know, are there any transgender people out there who would like to come onto my channel and debate with someone of the opposing side? And she was met really with a lot of people, of transgender people saying, no, like I'm not. And one of them was this. I forget how to pronounce her name. It's a transgender user called Steph Sagini or something like that. I can't remember. A trans female, trans woman. And she said, and she basically said, look, I'm not going to come on to debate whether or not I exist with someone. I'm not going to come on and debate. This isn't about who am I going to debate, and who is this person to sit there and talk about me and my own. And you know, and who I am and what I identify as. And this is the problem she's going to have, is she's not going to get many people on the other side, on the side of the social justice side of it, who are going to want to waste their time with it. She might get some smaller users who just want to sort of get some attention, maybe. But the general consensus is like, no, I'm not going to. She, like I said, she's starting from this premise, this idea that these debates don't happen. She's spouting this narrative that, people don't listen to the other side, or people don't engage. And it's like, it's bollocks. We're engaging constantly. It's happening. And, you know, having it on your channel doesn't make it fucking different. Here's the real problem, though, that she's got is her trying to challenge other people. Lacey Green cannot debate, right? And I'll tell you a story that a lot of people won't fucking know. I'll tell you a story. About 8 years ago, this is about 9 years ago, this is when the main debate around here was like religion, atheism, stuff like that. There was the most notorious Christian on YouTube was a guy called Venom Fang X. Right? He was a creationist. He was public enemy #1. Right? He was very good at getting all the attention. He had massive drama with like people like Thunderfoot and that. He was the first one to go around like flagging people and DMCAing everyone. Anyway, Lacey Green reached out to Venom Fang X saying she wanted to reach out to the other side and have a civilized debate. Right? Sound familiar? Right? And she said that she wanted to have a debate with Venom Fang X, a creationist, on the subject of the Bible. They had one video exchange and she fucking lost it. She lost a debate with a creationist about the Bible. Right? It was one video and done. And that was and that was it. She made her video and she got passages in the Bible wrong, and Venom Fang X, who is the smuggest cunt in the world, but this was uber smug because he now got the chance to actually be right, and it's like he lost. He was like just, and so like she can't debate. She's not very good at it. She hates confrontation. I'll tell you one more story about this.
All right.
Back in 2009. I did this thing called the Ponage Olympics, right? And now people in the chat who were around back then, or 2009, 10, 11, because I did it 3 years in a run. And the idea of the Ponage Olympics was simple. It was a way, this was when you still had video responses. And back then, what it was, I said, right, we've got 6 weeks, and we've got these different ways of poning people. You have to find a video and respond to it. There was an educational week. You had to make an educational video. There was pwn someone in 90 seconds. There was pwn someone musically, do an impression, yada yada yada, all that. And it was a lot of fun. And there was one caveat to it. It's like you can't have a go. You can't just insult or abuse people. You have to actually have an argument. This is about constructive arguments and stuff with the people. Anyway, so that was the basic premise. After I set up the first Ponage Olympics, she sent me a PM saying that she was saying, sorry, dude, but I'm going to have to unsubscribe. I can't support or watch a channel that's going to do something that encourages bullying or encourages people to go after people. And I'm like, there's no bullying being encouraged here. I'm like, and she was like, I explained it to her. It's like the rules of the thing are very clear. The rules of the thing are very clear. I'm telling people you can't pick on people. You can't be rude. You won't be counted. And she just went, LOL. She just said, no, I don't want to be part of it. And she unsubscribed. And in all my years of YouTube, I have never had someone who unsubscribed and sent me a fucking message. It's like sent me a PM explaining to it. And when you explain, and like that's what she doesn't like anything like that. She doesn't like being challenged. She's never been like that. She thinks that there's something inherently wrong with people who are aggressive or get angry and stuff. She's always been like that.
Thing is, I'll probably be the first person to say this this year, but to defend her, I've just asked the chat how old is Lacey, and they say around about 27. This Venom Fang, whatever his name is, from a few years ago. What was that, like over 5 years ago, maybe? She was
he was about the same. He was actually he's younger than her. He was younger.
But she would have been in her early 20s around then, right?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
So that's one factor, that over the course of the next 5, 6, 7 years, she's had all this shit thrown at her. She now theoretically could take it, but to counteract that theory, she's now getting it from people on her old side, shall we say, and she can't handle it. But could she handle it in a debate? That's the thing. I
don't think she can. I don't think she would. I mean, like I said, I've never seen her do anything live. I mean, this is
because she did that thing with Blair White a while ago. I watched as much of it as I could before I wanted to shoot myself in the head because it was so tedious and whatever. It seemed, from the little I saw, I mean, I'm not the greatest judge, I only saw a little bit, but it seems like she could at least, have a decent conversation with someone. What I'd love to see is I'd love to give her a chance to see if she could talk to people who maybe not Sargon or Thunderfoot, but someone like you say, someone who's not Chris Ray-Gun, someone who's like, who's a bit of a cunt, and she's gonna, ask him why and try and rather than just give him a hug during the hangout, and that's what we all think might happen. You see, so
I don't think that anything. I think it's just going to be a case of I think this is the thing. It's like she's offering up her channel not to put across her opinions now, but to host debates. It's like Thunderdome now. And it's just like this is the social justice mania, and you've got in the main event tonight. We've got Riley Dennis versus fucking Shoe on Head in a pound. It's like and I'm just like that's what it is to me. It's like there's she's now in a position really where she's now expressing views that are much more controversial than she's ever really expressed. And
exactly. I mean, go on.
No, and just I think for that end, it's like this is what my video was about. I want her to make a fucking video about. I don't even want her to. I'm just sick of the fact that she won't do it. It's like if I'd come back 6 weeks ago and changed my mind on something, like I said, I'm now a member of the alt-right. You would think in 6 weeks I could throw together a pissing video to explain some positions that I fucking hold.
Yeah,
and why?
At the very least, maybe make a video saying, because she's always on Twitter now going, oh God, everyone's calling my boyfriend a Nazi, everyone's saying to him and all his friends. You said in your video that Tim Blake, he's a, but he, like you say, he agrees with Alex Jones. There's got to be something wrong with someone like that, Yeah. She could just sit down and say, here are 10 reasons why this so and so or this member of the alt-right, in your opinion, is not what you say. But the problem is, if she does that and she's still got the mind of old Lacey, she'll realise what we all realise, and it will all go very badly. That's why she's never.
This is the interesting thing about it is like, look, people change their minds on various things. And sometimes you see people who change positions gradually over time. There are people who I remember who held one position, and then you've seen them over the course of many years gradually start changing, and now they're on they would be on the opposite side of a certain discussion. It's very rare that you get someone who out of the blue comes out and goes bang and just completely, it's like is a complete switch like that. And to me it's like I have seen several occasions, like there's been atheists who have gone away and they've come back and now they're Christian, and you're like, well, okay, but the problem now, that's one thing, is someone who was an atheist who's now a Christian, whatever. But you're sat there thinking, you've done nothing for the last 3, 4, 5 years but make videos debunking the very arguments you now have to defend. It's like how what the responses are to all of the arguments you're going to say. And what is it that's different about those arguments that changed? What is it? And it's probably because it's not based on an actual argument or whether it's reasonable. It's probably going to be based on there was something that happened and this as the better feeling. This gives them a better, more comfort maybe. I don't know, but that's a weird one to have to deal with.
I mean, yeah, I suppose so. It's just, I don't know. The whole thing is because it's in its infancy. It's like everyone on the left, as it were, is like, okay, this is where it's going to go. There's no other way. But it's going to destroy everything she's ever hold dear to her life and everything. I'm not 100% sure that's true. I just think that she's a bit of a silly sausage, shall we say, for sort of just embracing the other side a little bit. It's just so out of the blue, and obviously that's why it's so.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I can't speak for what she feels. I mean, I personally don't want to. I don't want someone to make arguments saying why I'm not alt-right or whatever. Because then you get into that David Rubin territory where he's saying I can't be conservative. I'm gay and I've got to support gay marriage and I'm for legalizing pot. And yes, Yes, I've defended Alex Jones and said that he's necessary and said that he only looks crazy because people edit his videos to make him look like that. And yes, I said Glenn Beck was the new centre of politics. And yes, I went to an Ayn Rand convention and spoke on a panel with a load of fucking libertarians. And yes, I sit there and interview Ben Shapiro and Milo Yiannopoulos. And yes, I was defended by Mike Cernovich and Donald Trump Jr. recently. But yes, all that things, but you can't read anything into that, and it's like, dude, just shut up, just shut the.
All right.
Yes, I call them progressive mental disorder and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, we'll talk about Ruben. We have to talk about him, right? But it's just to back up what you're saying. It's like when Milo goes, "I can't be racist because I have all of these black boyfriends over history." Well, that's not quite how it works, mate. But
if you want to know whether or not people can be racist because they've got a black partner, boyfriend or girlfriend, go talk to a black person who's had a white partner, and they'll tell you. They will. Not all of them, but many of them will say that there's there are discrepancies. There are little things that slip out occasionally. Lots of people. Look, by that logic, what about people? What about all these these anti-gay hate preaching, like religious hate preachers who get caught in a toilet cubicle sucking off at 7 truckers' dicks in a public toilet? I mean, we can't sit here and go, I'm
sorry. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. Yeah.
I did a silly noise. Carry on.
No, I was done. I was finished.
Oh, right. So, would it be the best idea in the world, right? Because, well, first of all, I don't like you. I don't watch Sargon and stuff like that all the time because, almost ever, because it's just so dull and you know what to expect, right?
It goes on forever. Yeah.
Yeah, what I see, he did 5 videos yesterday because he was at that VidCon thing. He obviously had a bit of time to kill. He made 5 fucking videos on his various channels. Yeah. And I worked it out because I have even more time on my hands. He reached 500,000 people by saying nothing by the looks of the fucking video titles,
Well, he was on old Rubin Report last night, wasn't he?
Too, I'm definitely not far right, and I'll prove it by getting Sargon on yet again,
Yes, tonight on the Rubin Report, we'll be talking to famous YouTuber JewKiller1969 about whether or not the Holocaust was real. I'm Dave Rubin, and I'm a liberal. It's like, but this is the thing. It's like, that's the trick, is to say nothing without actually saying anything. I mean, that's what it's become. Is like you're talking to, 5 years ago we were talking about, whether or not the Bible, whether or not Jesus existed, and whether the Bible was accurate, or talking about science and stuff like that. And now we're talking with fuck President O'Black Man about, whether or not slavery was a bad thing. It's like this. It's like what happened? At what point did we suddenly end up doing this? Why am I getting messages from these? Why am I getting messages from Holocaust deniers who are called "I hate big noses" and they're talking like this?
We've got a child here who's 14 and an old man who's 88, and they think Jews are bad. That kind of thing.
Yes, that's balance. Old man, young boy. We'll talk about this.
Now, well, the joke was 1488, but
yes, that's true.
Right. The thing is, right, is there a way that we can force Rubin to sue someone for saying that he is far right? Because that would be the most hilarious court case since the Alex Jones. Basically.
Here's the thing that he's not doing. The reason he's doing that, let's be honest, this is not the first time someone's called David Rubin right wing. People do it all the time. They've been doing it for ages. I'm sure there's loads of people. The only reason he's doing it now is because Mother Jones is a little bit more reputable. It's got a bit more of a widespread, and he wants to kick up a fucking fuss about it. And he wants to make a big fucking deal about it and again, just act like a fuck. And I'm like, who cares whether or not you were called right wing? And it's like the thing. It's like the thing I said to Chris Reagan. It's like, yeah, I know sometimes people get labelled unfairly, but maybe there's a reason here. That you and Joe Rogan, fucking hell, God, he sits there going, how can Mother Jones call a married gay man a fucking conservative? I'm like, you interviewed Milo Yiannopoulos fucking like last year. Have you forgotten that? And you're using the fact he's gay as an argument that he can't be right wing. Are you fucking demented? It's like, when did we get to this? Like, when is that a fucking argument? We're not playing identity politics, but this gay man cannot be conservative, you know.
For me, I think that obviously Sargon uses the classical liberal thing, in my opinion, to troll the other side, as it were, and I think he's very effective in that. I mean, the other day, year and a half after he started saying I'm a classical liberal, everyone in the world knows it's bollocks. But I saw having a little to and fro on Twitter, and I'm like, what's the point? He's clearly done what he's set out to do, which is annoy someone who's the enemy, you know. And it's just, but the thing is, so I was chatting to people on Twitter and privately, and they were saying classical liberal is their definition of it, and this is just according to people on Twitter, is taking it back years and years, maybe a century or two ago. Classical liberal is where hard right-leaning conservatives are now. So they're trolling you even further by going, "Oh, I actually am right-wing, but I'm saying something completely different." You know,
it's kind of like the way when the Republicans are trying to appeal to minority voters or something, they'll bring up the fact that, hey, the Republican Party, we ended slavery. We're the party of Lincoln. Did you know that the NAACP was founded by a Republican? Of course, this was fucking like so far long ago when the Republican Party was nothing like it is. I also think there's another side to it in that there is a certain, saying you're conservative ain't a fucking big deal, but when you say you're right wing, that does immediately put some people's backs up. So the best way to deal with that is to say you're a liberal, but don't actually be one. You know, it's like that's the sort of best way to deal with it, is to say that, no, I am a liberal, but then end up supporting, or, you know, it's like the way Christina Hoff Sommers. You know, I'm a feminist, but I support all of these men's rights activists. No, I'm going to call myself this thing, but placate to the problem side, or whatever, you know, the problematic side of it.
On the subject of Stargell, we'll move on slightly. But before I talk about one thing about him, I need to ask you a question, because I've just got a feeling I might be right. But if I'm wrong, I apologise for this. But in the past, like way back ago, were you somewhat of a conspiracy theorist?
Yes, this is going back. I mean, this is before I was on YouTube. This is going back around about, I'd say, it was only for a few years, but it was around about, I'd say, 22 to the age of 25, 26. I was a bit of a kook. Were you
already on YouTube by then?
No, I wasn't on YouTube till I was 28. There was the thing was, right, here's the thing, and I know that correlation does not necessarily equal causation, but I sort of got out of conspiracy theories about a couple of months after I quit doing cocaine. Now, I don't know whether these two things are necessarily connected, but all I do know is that in the 4 years I was massively into conspiracy theories, I was there going, oh, fucking right, look at this, fucking hell, look at that, yeah. Did you know there's Chinese people dead on the moon? Did you know that? I've just read it here. What's the website? It's called conspiracytheory.com. It's a perfectly valid fucking website. Yeah, look at, I mean, I wasn't as far gone as someone like Alex Jones. But, you know, 9/11 truther. Yeah, 9/11 truther. Moon landing, stuff like that. Up until about the age of 24, I could still argue. I would still argue with people about the existence of the Loch Ness Monster. Right, I'm not even fucking joking, right? And then I like about 26, I quit doing vast amounts of cocaine and other drugs, and then I just sort of started reading the stuff I was going. This is bollocks. Why was I ever fucking into this shit? This is just absolute. Not what I actually started doing as well that got me out of it is I actually started learning about what, you know, I didn't just listen to the conspiracy theories and then go away. I'd actually look at the original sources and see what was actually there. I read the 9/11 fucking commission report, right? All of it, right? I nearly considered reading the NIST report, but that's just fucking, it's just ludicrously fucking massive. And you realise that all of the arguments that the 9/11 truth movement were fucking debunking or exposing were never made. You know, they were based on nothing. You know, or they were complete straw men. You know.
Yeah, so just mad people saying mad things, and then finally it took many years for you to just sort of
And it took a few years. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was never far gone like that. But I mean, yeah, I was a bit of a. I probably, in all fairness, if YouTube had been around when I was in 22, 23, I probably would have been a shitlord. You know, I'd probably be making the sort of videos. I'd be making money, which should be another thing. But I'd be making those sorts of videos. I'd probably be there. I'm kind of glad that it didn't happen until I was a bit older and a bit more calmed down. You know.
Fair enough. Well, you said Far Gone a second ago. I'd like to very quickly talk about Far Gone of the Cad.
Oh, it's about to suck it up. You know, that was the same thing.
Thanks, guys.
Speaking of 9/11 truthers, let's talk about Sargon.
It's the best link my brain can think of. But basically, the timing's everything, right? Because today on your Facebook page, I think someone a few weeks ago as well. I'll read what you wrote on your post. You wrote, "It's amazing what you find on someone's YouTube channel if you go back far enough." And there is the link with the title. And this is what the title of the video says. See if you can guess, guys. There's a little clue a minute ago who this might be from. Adolf Hitler. Now, Adolf Hitler, before we go on, is one of the most famous, well, not famous, but he's one of the most known people in the world.
He's the shitlord.
He is indeed. I'd say quite a lot of people will probably be able to spell his name without any problem. However, the certain person who's made this video has spelled it Adloph. Hitler, right? It reminds me of.
I didn't notice that. I was too busy looking at the second spelling.
No, well, it gets better. It gets better in a second. But it reminds me of War Corps a while ago. I made a video about this. War Corps. He was going to talk about one of the biggest singers of the time, right? Adele, right? And he couldn't fucking say the name of someone who everyone knows. He's like, Adele.
It's got two. He can't pronounce most words. He's adding syllables to a word that seems like a 2-syllable word.
So anyway, it goes on. Adolf Hitler, whoever he is, faked his suicide and lived out his days in, which I believe is Argentina, according to the FBI. Now, can anyone in the chat possibly tell me who may have made that video? But the thing is, okay, Sargon basically made it. But the point is that what point I was going to make was, if indeed you were a conspiracy theorist in the past, you said you were, it took you a few years to come out of it. But Sargon is basically the same age as us, as far as I can tell.
Yeah,
and this video was made.
He's 37, isn't he? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, 2014. It's interesting about as well because it's such an old video, but it hasn't even got 10,000 views because it's like it was from a while ago. If you go way back, and he makes so many fucking videos, you go far back enough.
It's from 3 years ago. So my point is, it took you a few years, but then before you hit your 30s, you were okay. That's all bollocks. But someone who's pretty much the same age as us still thinks that 3 years ago, and then of course you add on top of that the delightful thing we found out the other day about the 9/11 thing that he still believes, which he fucking defended as well, which is just the most bizarre thing I've seen on Twitter.
One thing you've got to be careful of is you're assuming Sargon believes this.
It's a very good point.
You're going from the assumption that that he actually buys into any of it. I mean, his argument was, I still don't think two planes can bring down 3 buildings. It's like, well, do you ever go bowling? Because by that logic, you can never get a strike because one ball should not be able to bring down 10 pins. Which is a classic truth argument. It's like, I'm just skeptical that 2 planes can bring down 3 buildings. Well, bridge burnt one down the other week in London, so and that's cold. Think about that. There's something to fuck with your mind. A fridge, something that's cold, burnt an entire fucking tower block down. How is this possible? But the thing is, that's a classic argument because the argument is like the planes brought down the building. It's like, no, the 3rd building crashed because one of the tallest buildings in the world fell on it. Just like and kind of took out 25% of the base, which is already built like that. It's built like basically there's a big gap in the middle, and there's propane canisters and tanks underneath at the bottom of it. So it's basically got like charges underneath it. And, you know, it was on fire for 14 hours, and that's why it fucking fell down.
Well, exactly. I mean, if I really rack my brain, I could think of at least 100 more other conspiracy theories related to that sort of thing. Oh, you know, because if it's not hot enough, then it only bends one way, or blah blah blah. You know.
Well, the argument for a lot of people is they say that, oh, well, there were documents and there's stuff in Building 7 that they didn't want you to find. I'm like, couldn't they have got a paper shredder, or couldn't they have just like, I don't know, gone to the dump and put it in the bin? No one's going to go and look for it. I mean, wipe your ass with it. Do you have to blow a bill? I mean, plus you're assuming that they knew that the building was going to fucking have the other 2 buildings fall on it. You're assuming that they knew that that would happen. And what I don't get is what I've never got. I've experienced this before. I've never understood. If you're someone who hates Muslims, you're Islamophobic, whatever, fine, I get that. If you're someone who's a truther, fine, whatever. I've never got my head around people who are conspiracy theorists who are also shit scared of Muslims, because by the very logic of being like Alex Jones, who's, you know, everything's an inside job, and I'm sat there and I'm thinking, Jesus God. All of the fucking things that Muslims get blamed for, you think they didn't do. You think it was the government that did it. So why are you scared of them in the fucking first place? It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Why you would be scared, you know?
Can I just say, just have a quick look at the chat. So your leftist Muslim gynocracy has posted a wonderful few emoticons there, which I'm not going to say what they are.
I've seen it. Yeah, 2 planes, 3. But yeah, 2 planes equals. Look at that one. 2 equals 3. Yeah.
Someone, I've forgotten who it was, but I just saw someone in the chat a minute ago as well say that Sargon claimed that he was trolling people when he said he was defending his views on the 9/11 thing, you know, after it all came out.
Of course he was, yeah. But it was all satire.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That's the point you were making a minute ago. It's like, you know, it's probably just trolling and everything. But the thing is, some of his fans can, I mean, maybe they can't. Maybe that's why he's got such a big fan base. They can't see the idiotic things that you say, you know. So
I just don't think they care, because they don't have to. I don't think they care. I mean, it's like I just don't think they give a shit, because they're not able. They just know that when he goes against, he gives them a cover. He gives them it's like with Baring, right? With Baring doesn't actually do anything. He's just a he's just a cunt. He's like an agent. He's like the way an agent gets an actor work with people. Baring gets people who are cunts who want to go and, you know, and cyberbully or troll someone. He'll find you people to do it to. You know, he'll find you. He's like a sort of middleman towards that. No one cares whether they don't care. I mean, I'm sure there are people, don't get me wrong, there are people who see on my videos who leave comments saying, I can't believe I used to fucking listen to Sargon or listen to these people. And so so there are people there, but I think in terms of the most part, they don't care, and they'll just accept, you know, when he says, oh, I was trolling or I was joking or whatever, they'll just accept it, or they'll just skip that line, because that's the fucking, that's the message. You know,
you're right, and I think the ultimate example of what you just said there is probably Undoomed, who will with just completely go, here's a little girl, right, and she says that, you know, feminism is great. Now let's debunk that, or whatever, which is, it's just so obvious, and it's just, that's all he makes as far as I can tell.
I mean, I don't mind. The thing is, like, I mean, I just wish they were honest about it. It's like, do you remember like Thunderfoot, when Thunderfoot got a couple of years ago, when Thunderfoot got, you know, there was a user called Laughing Witch, and Laughing Witch contacted Thunderfoot's employer about the content he was making online. Now, I did not agree with her doing that. I thought that's fucking stupid. It's bang out of order. This is YouTube. Keep things on YouTube. It's, you know, and plus also, why are you contacting Thunderfoot's employees to tell them that he's a prick? I guarantee you they already know, right? They don't need you they work with him every fucking day. They have to spend 50 hours a week around this guy. We only get to see him, like, you know, when we choose for an hour and that. So imagine what it's like for them. They probably already know. But yeah, don't fuck with people unless there's something really serious, like, you know, like you know, but don't fuck with them you know, don't fuck with their private life. But Thunderfoot went around and he found Laughing Witch had this business on Yelp, I think it was Yelp or something like that. And he linked to it, and he did the whole thing, and he made a video showing the Yelp page and linking to it and going, now, if I was one, now I could instruct people to go to your Yelp page and give you 1-star reviews and 1-star ratings and bad reviews, but I'm not going to do that. Which, of course, was just the same, which is why he linked it and showed it on the fucking page and that, this is why he did that, because I'm like, that's the one problem I had is like, dude, just fucking say it, because no one's going to hold it against you. No, I'm not going to hold it against, no one's going to fucking hold it against you if you link this stupid woman's fucking business page, because, like, no one's going to care. Just say it. Just own what you're doing.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate that contacting people's employees is the biggest dick move ever, and I think it's dying out now. I haven't seen it happen for a while, but fucking hell, it's just. I mean, also one other.
You carry on.
One other thing I want to say is Thunderfoot, when you mentioned he's at work, people his colleagues know he is, interact with him all the time. So he's like having his dinner, his break time, and he's like, someone's going, "Oh, what are you eating there?" Thunderfoot, I can't remember his proper name. What are you eating there, Thunderfoot? And he goes, a yogurt. Do you know who hates yogurts? Anita Sarkeesian. Is that what his whole day must be like that? I'm going to do a graph now. Do you know who hates graphs? Anita Sarkeesian,
Has he still doing... Has he done any videos since he absconded?
Yes. To answer your question, yes, he fucking has. I know exactly what you're going to ask, right? He did all of the... He did all the Sargons having his fucking meltdown shit. And then I think... video, and then the very next one was do you know Anita Sarkeesian hates science or whatever. He cannot go 5 videos without mentioning that particular person. I swear to God. Do
you know what the funny thing is? The funny thing is that I made less. He's made probably 4 times the amount of videos that I've made about him, right, in my past, and he used to accuse me of being obsessed with him, right? And he used to accuse me of being obsessed and fucking. And that is one thing I hate on the internet is when you get that is that you only have to make 2 videos about someone, and then people go, "Oh God, why are you so obsessed with this person?" It's like I'm literally not. I've spent 17 minutes talking about them combined. It's like. That, and it's just it's a really bullshit tactic to try and sort of turn it around as if there's something wrong with this person, as if there's something wrong with you. Screwdriver is Thunderfoot's real name, according to that. Screwdriver, named after the Nazi metal band, or
No, it's because he's got quite a tiny head in relation to his big neck. Maybe.
Oh right, okay. Oh, is that what they call him? They call it. I bet they call him that behind his back at work. I bet he's the one that all the scientists won't let him sit at their table. He sits there and they just. Do you know what pissed me off? The first time I ever saw Thunderfoot in a video, and saw him full length body, right? And he was in a video, and he's got the classic nerd ankle swinger trousers. Those trousers that just don't. This is a guy who lectures people on physics, and he can't even get a pair of trousers that fucking go all the way down to his bloody down his legs. The man's it's just really fucking annoying. But that was, that's what that was things about it.
Someone just said, obviously his neck comment. Then they said, imagine what his dick looks like.
Well, I don't know. Johnny Rebel equals Thunderfoot? ? Very good. ? See, now you can't be accused. You're learning you're learning left-wing Muslim gynocracy. You've got to put a question mark at the end of something, and then you can't be accused of anything.
For people who don't know who that is, for example, me, what does that mean?
Well, basically, it's a Fox News tactic. What they'll say is they'll go, "Is President Obama eating children? We'll talk about that tonight," because they can't actually say President Obama.
I get that. Johnny Rebel is what I meant.
Oh, Johnny Rebel. Johnny Rebel is a country music singer who does songs about segregation.
Right. Do you know who hates segregation? Anita Sarkeesian.
Yeah. But Johnny Rebel's songs are so extreme. I mean, they're so extremely racist that you can't. They're funny. I mean, I listen to them and I absolutely piss myself with laughter. You read the fucking. Let me bring up some of Johnny Rebel's songs. I'll go and look them up.
Right.
I mean, I did a video once where I turned one of his songs into a gangster rap song.
Yeah.
Let's see, Johnny Rebel.
Right. While you're doing that, because it'll take a second. There's one other thing I wanted to mention about the 9/11 truthers thing. It's just reading something out. Is that I looked at a video you made today that you made about a year ago, and it's called 4 Conspiracy Theories You Won't Believe That People Believe, right?
Yes.
And those include 9/11 no plane theory, which I think is very bold claim. That's probably
there's
the best
2 versions of it as well. There's 2 versions of it. A lot of sectarianism in that, that one. But
God. Second one, aliens are Asian, as in they look Chinese, Japanese, that kind of Asian. The third one is surprise, surprise, Alex Jones and dead astronauts. One of the moon landing theories.
Russian and Chinese. The moon landing happened, but the footage was fake because there's so many dead Chinese and Russian people on the moon that we won't be able. You literally can't find a clear spot on the moon to film there. It's just
and then the last, the Beatles never existed.
Yes, the Beatles were all played by different actors. There's other. I mean, there's some there that I missed. There's one that is. There was another one that I didn't put in because it was a long video already, and plus it was kind of similar. It was a moon one, and it was the moon is fake. The moon ain't real.
Wallace and Gromit have already proved that. Why do we need to keep going back and forth?
I know. I've seen footage of it. Right. Okay. Here's some Johnny Rebel. So I apologise. For advance, I will be using racial epithets because I'm not. I've got to give this to. Keep on working, Big Jim. Cajun Ku Klux Klan, nigger looking for a handout. Nigger hating me. Move them niggers north. Still looking for a handout. Some niggers never die. Stay away from Dixie. Like, damn, I wish I was a nigger. It's like an NWA fucking playlist, except it's the exact opposite fucking problem. And he's
someone in the chat, G O'Neill UK, just said in the chat, this is for people like me who don't know who it is. If you ever watched American History X, where the fat guy is driving along in a van singing along to racist songs, that song is Johnny Rebel.
Actually, that is Johnny Rebel singing that song, but it wasn't a Johnny Rebel song because there's no full length version of that song. That bit that he sings in American History X is literally the only bit of that song that exists. I've looked. Trust me, I've looked for it. I've never actually been able to find it. Dick's not even funny when he's intentionally being edgy. I'm just reading a song list, dude. I'm not even trying to be edgy.
I mean, I'll just try and find it if there's a handbag emoji I could add to that fucking statement. Thanks for contributing, mate.
I'm not even. I don't care. I'm perfectly happy with people who don't think I'm funny. But my question is always, why are you here? Why are you talking? So, why are you here at a show that I'm doing? You know, does Dick need a heroin break?
I did a fucking. I did a test stream last week to see if everything would work. Obviously, clearly, if anyone was here at the start, it didn't. But bear with me on this. I did a test stream and someone popped in. I can't remember who it was. Popped in just to say, "Oh look, he looks like a hobo," and then just fucked off.
Yeah.
And like, well, thanks.
That's kind of polite.
I mean, technically, he's correct. Right, so I don't know if it's an insult.
Well, I mean, we're both on that level. Yeah. Do you know the worst comment I ever got, and it was simply because of the nature of the video, was I did this video about moon landing conspiracies, and it was a really stupid, simple video. I thought of it in like an hour. It took me like an hour to make, but it was me saying, like, I found this. I'm starting to think the moon landing conspiracy might be true and it might be fake because I found this new footage. I've got this footage here that I ain't seen before, and let me show you why I think it's fake. Watch this. And it was the intro to the TV show Button Moon, right? Which if you don't know what that is, like it's basically it was a really cheap kids show, which had a big button moon, and then a spaceship made out of a baked bean tin with a funnel on it, and Mr. Spoon would walk around, and it was just basically me. It was basically you remember the Button Moon video, right? That was it. Right, and there were 2 things that pissed me off about the video. One of them was the worst comment. One of the harshest comments I ever got was from someone said, "I'm going to pray to God that you get cancer and die." And I thought, wow, I mean, bloody hell. I mean, okay, if I was making a video where I was really raging about religion or saying something really offensive, I would have no problem with that comment. But the fact that this video has led you to sort of try and, burden me with a cancerous tumor that's invoked by the Lord. You're going to ask God to take time out of his day so he can fucking, give me cancer. And the other thing that pissed me off about that was all of these smug fucking conspiracy debunkers who didn't watch the video and just bombarded it with fucking comments explaining why I was an idiot. And I'm like, it's 3 minute long video. I'm like, dude, go to 1 minute 59. 1 minute 59. Just fucking go there and you'll see why this entire. And then I wouldn't mind. It got posted on the conspiracy, it got appeared on the Kookspiracy webs Reddit. And there's just, I went there and fucking went there, and there's just all these people calling me a moron because I intend debunking. But I'm like, I didn't fucking. What are you debunking? It's butter. It's like me saying. It's like me trying to prove Noah's Ark was real because I got a clip from Rainbow, and there's Georgian Bungle having a conversation. I'm like, this is just. I'm like, how can you be so? I'm like, it just pisses me off. That is the consistent thing on YouTube that really pisses me off. Which is when people don't watch your video and they just assume, like, they clearly haven't watched your video and they just post a comment, and it's like, that pisses me off more than anything. It just really, really does.
Best ones ever, and I think maybe I saw this on maybe one of your videos, Sean and Jen, something. It's when someone posts you cuck, whatever, etc., when they on a 50-minute video when they couldn't have even watched 50 seconds of it, Yeah,
but no, I got a bloke on my Chris Ray Gun video. On my Chris Ray Gun video, a bloke posted a comment. So, and this was after, and he's saying, but that's what the word racist is used by these morons. It's just it's not you. There's this. This is just a get out clause of an argument. I'm like, dude, this video's been up for 12 minutes. This is a 56-minute long video. Assuming you even watched it from when it was uploaded, means that you've only watched 12 minutes of best, so you haven't even listened to me. Why are you responding to my argument? Or even worse, the people who do watch the whole video, but they respond in real time. So you've got 50 comments. I'm like, it really is annoying.
Yeah. I'd just like to answer something in the chat. Leftist gynocracy, I can't remember his name. He said, my clocks are wrong. I just want to... One thing that's really annoyed me, right? One thing that's really annoyed me in the 6 months, whatever, I've had this on my wall, right? This is a fucking War Corps reference that only one person understood, right? London. Does anyone in the chat have any fucking idea how fucking funny that is, by the way?
I like the fact that you've had a picture of Sargon on your wall for 6 months. That's kind of what. And
he's missing an eye. That's a joke in that one.
But that people don't know that. I mean, when people come into your room, do they not fucking know that?
Well, the idea is that if you, it's for people who've watched a good deal of my stuff, because that's in quite a prominent video, which I won't say. You just have to find it, guys, if you're interested. And that's there as what basically these are jokes that I find really funny from the old videos, and they go up on the wall as soon as could just remind myself how great I am, essentially, and also the audience as well. And it hasn't worked one fucking bit. One person got that fucking Only Fools and Horses reference. One in 6 months.
Thing is, there's an irony there, because you should change it now to say Africa, Asia, India, right? And see if anyone notices that one. Someone's
that Chris Ray Gun there.
Yes, that's a Chris Ray Gun. Or you can do, someone put on, some 14-year-old kid out there actually has a picture of Sargon on his wall. And ironically, actually, I saw on Twitter the other day, someone posted a photo. I can't remember who it was, but it was someone who had a Sargon of a card hoodie.
Yes.
Yeah. And that, I mean, I mean, if you want to answer to the question, what's worse than being Sargon of a card? It's being the guy who owns a hoodie, who wants to go out. And I don't get this thing. This is why I've never understood fully. I mean, I know I've done it before, but I only did it once and then I gave up because it was, I didn't even fucking get it. But why do people have merchandise for a YouTuber? Like, why would you buy merchandise for a YouTuber? Because you've got to explain who the fucker is every time. People are going to be like, who's that? Oh, that's Colton Dusty. Who the fuck's that? Oh, he's a bloke on the internet who makes videos. What about, I mean, you've got to understand who these people are half the frigging time. I don't, who's that? Oh, it's, what does that say? Oh, Logic. Right. Okay. I don't get it.
The guy. I'm gonna repost it on Twitter after this hangout. But the guy wearing it he looks like a perfect Sargon fan. He's taken from this angle like this.
Yeah, he's down.
Yeah, he looks different from you know. You get my meaning. Someone said to me,
"You're trying so hard not to say something that you didn't want to say on record."
Realize that might be a bit bad. It might be a bit bad that, but
it's like when a Tory says to a black guy, "Listen, you stupid man."
That's not where I was going. Actually, I
know that, but it's that. Yeah.
How dare you? This is my streaming bastard. Anyway, someone said, "Do I look at this picture when I'm masturbating?" How do you think I got rid of that eye bit there? Think about it. Think about it.
I mean, Sargon can't even look at Anita when he's in a poster. He's even has to look away in disgust at her. He can't.
That's who I look at. Is Anita. Yeah. I look at her screaming, "Kill all men" at me, and that's what really gets me.
Especially when she gives you that white person smile. Especially when she gives you that.
I haven't seen it. Okay, I haven't seen the Alex Jones interview with Megan.
Oh, it's a waste of fucking time.
Yeah, did you watch it?
I've seen bits of it. It's just very, you know. I mean, the problem is that I suppose from my perspective is I'm someone who knows enough about Alex Jones that there are 1,000,001 things I would want to ask him before I sit there. And she doesn't hold his feet to the fire or anything. She doesn't challenge him in any way. It's done for ratings, and it was really, really unimpressive, and there was no real point to it.
She fancies herself as the next Dave Rubin, basically, is what you're saying. She doesn't challenge him one bit.
Dick, why didn't you make a video on MDA when he was exposed for creeping up young girls? I didn't, because I didn't need to, because enough people made a video about it, and he'd already fucked off. But I was going to make a video about something that was connected to that. MDA is a guy called Must Destroy All, who was trying to get 15-year-old girls to send him photos. The reason I didn't is because enough people did, and he'd already buggered off very, very quickly. So do I go out? Charles, this is a great question. Dick, do you go out of your way to look like a paedophile? No, this is all natural, bro. I just rock this. I just rock this fucking, like, I wake up and it's there. I'm like, you know, I've just got that, you know, I say be what you are, you know. And so, I hope that's a good enough answer. Yeah.
Right, well, I was going to talk about the Alex Jones interview, but I haven't seen it, but that's the whole point. It in America, so all of that trying to get.
Well, no one else wanted to watch it. Is the thing. No one else wanted to watch it either, because it lost out. I think there was a rerun of America's Funny Home Videos that outdid it in ratings.
Christ,
that's how bad it was. I mean, no one. It was so much bad. There was so much bad press about it, and it didn't do anyone any favors. It didn't do her any favors. Didn't do NBC any favors, and it didn't do Alex Jones any favors either. Because
do you know who British Vlog Rays is?
British Vlog Rays. I've heard of a guy called Vlog Rays before, but not British Vlog Rays.
Right. Well, Nick Monkton. Neither of us know who that is. Apparently, I look like this guy. No idea.
Any social media looks like. Oh no, he looks like a British version of Vlog Rays. That's a bit unfair. Vlog Rays is a lot bigger than.
Oh, thanks. Thanks a lot.
I mean, he's got the. I mean, to be honest, I don't even see it. I honestly don't even. I don't even know what looking like a British version of something is. What would a British, like, bad teeth, bowler hat, umbrella, monocle? I don't know what those.
We've got a lot of references to old people that only really you know. So. I want to talk, if you don't mind, about your whole time on YouTube, because you've been here for 9 years, is it?
Yes, 9 years on July 4th.
Right, and how many channels has that consisted of?
In terms of main channels, I'm currently on my 4th, but I've had... I've probably had about 7 or 8 in total.
Right. Well,
maybe about that. But in terms of main channels, this is my 4th. Just to follow up, Charles Ford has asked serious question though. Wait, the paedophile question wasn't serious. Okay, serious question though. When is the last time you slept? Last night. I sleep for about 5 hours a night. Sometimes I'm lucky if I do sleep.
You're like the British Margaret Thatcher in that case, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm so much. Me and Thatcher. Just like with like two
Yeah, you're the British version of her, aren't you? That's the
I'm the British version of Margaret Thatcher. I'm the female version of Margaret Thatcher. But yeah, so I'm on my, so technically now I'm on my fourth. Actually, this channel, this is the channel I've now had this channel longer than my first one. But the Coffin 616 and the Coffin 000, I had them for about 4 years
each.
Yeah. Obviously, so Napalm just said I'm on 15 months. You're on more than 15 channels, Napalm. You're on so many. I don't believe you know how many channels you have. I don't think it's possible to count. Your channels are like the fourth bridge. You know, you start painting one end, by the time you get to the other end, you're fucking gone. Right, you got to start again.
Quick plug for Napalm, because what's his channel like?
Something Napalm. I don't know what happened to Napalm the Usurper. I don't know whether he stopped using that one, but it's something Napalm. Have you literally run out of puns for Napalm? How does it feel to having... Hold on, Charles is asking another one. How does it feel having been made look like, I think you mean to look like, the internet's biggest cunt by someone like Thunderfoot? Oh, it feels good. I did it myself long before he fucking managed to pull it off. So really... He picked a very easy person to try and make look like a cunt, because I fucking can do that. I don't need his fucking help. That was good. Napalm had like a different... I don't believe it's called something Napalm. I don't believe you know how many fucking channels you've had, Napalm. You've had a different channel every fucking... There was a period where it was a different one every week, and you just start ones randomly for no reason sometimes.
Wait, but who is he? Who the fuck is he? I mean, what's his channel about?
He's a big look. He's a fat white bloke with a beard who smokes pot and swears a lot, and that's really it, isn't it? I mean, that's he ran out of puns. He used to get channels, and he would have different. He had Napalm. It was Edible Napalm, and it was Edible Napalm 2. Then it was Napalm the Destroyer, Napalm the Barbarian. Then it was my favourite one was my one, which was Stop or Napalm Will Shoot. Right, which is my favorite. He lost the password to Napalm the Usurper, and but he's been here since the good old days, and he's like he regenerates. It was like the Doctor Who of YouTube. He just regenerates in a different channel. You have to fucking find him.
Right, so on your old channels thing, you've had about 4 or 5, you say, main channels, right?
Yeah, I've had 4 main channels in total. Yeah.
Right. So I assume they were all taken down by someone else rather than yourself, correct?
Yes, definitely. I've never closed channel. The first one was taken down just from too many. I got bombarded with DMCAs and flags, and it turns out, and even though the strikes on my channel had been removed, it turns out that YouTube didn't care about that. And so I got another strike on one video, and and that got the channel taken down. But I got bombarded, but that got killed by DMCAs. That one, I got a record. I got a record one day. I had 52 DMCAs filed against me in one go.
To clarify, is that like basically like a false flag? Is what you mean, or do you mean copyright?
That's a copyright claim. That's a copyright claim.
Genuine ones.
Yeah, no, they weren't genuine. They were all from one bloke. Just DMCA anything. I've had in total, I've had well over 150 videos flagged DMCA'd or removed individually. If you count all my channels, there's several hundreds of videos. That are going to be. Hold on, someone called Bearing Cab here. Who the fuck's Bearing Cab? Telling a woman to shut up because she's saying things you don't like. I'm sorry. Would you like me to treat her differently? Would you like me to treat her differently because she's a woman? Yeah. Okay.
What's he talking about? I don't get it.
He's talking about my Lacey Green video. I don't know who he is. He's called Bearing.
Oh, crikey. That's like 30 minutes ago we were talking about that.
Yeah, I know. But get with a program.
Yeah. Anyway. So
Bearing Cab is a useless cunt, apparently. But according to what this.
Yeah, I mean, so with all your channels, like, have you had like, because you got 10,000 subs now, right? So did you have like shitloads in the
11,000.
past?
I had on my main channel when it went down, the first one, 35,000. When the other two went down, they went down simultaneously. They had about 50,000 combined, and this one has 11. So I mean, its trajectory has gone right down. Yeah. So I've actually, my favourite statistic is that this doesn't happen anymore. But what they used to tell you. They used to tell you how many people had unsubscribed in total from a channel on your analytics. I don't know if they still do that, but they used to tell you how many, and I used to keep track of it. And then, by the end, before I lost the second and third channel, I had lost a combined total of 45,000 subscribers over that 7 year period. And I'm like, and so my favorite, so I just like, when anyone gets shit, I'm like, dude, I've lost more subscribers than I've ever had. I've lost more subscribers than you will ever fucking have in your life. So don't, so whenever people accuse me of being a sub whore or an attention whore, I'm like, dude, I've fucking lost more than I fucking ever had. So, but that was that was in total. Yeah, that's how it went. To be honest, I've never really been too concerned about it. You make a fucking as long as I make videos regardless of how many people are watching, so it's never been a big issue really.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, fair enough. So 9 years and they got 11,000 subscribers now. But yeah, it's quite a difference though, isn't it? Like over the course of time, where do they all go? I don't get it. Like,
well, I mean, where they go, they don't go somewhere as such. I mean, first of all, a lot of people, to be honest, sometimes I sometimes think it's good to start another channel, because the thing about it is, your channel, first of all, your subscriber count is ultimately meaningless. It doesn't mean anything because that means how many channels are subscribed. It doesn't mean how many people are watching. I mean, I would rather have 1,000 subscribers and get 10,000 views a video than have 10,000 subscribers and get 1,000 views a video. Do you know what I mean? So your sub count is meaningless, but also over the course of time, you get channels that die out. You get subscribers that people just don't watch anymore. Also, a lot of the time, you just get people who you've got more people to watch. There's more options. I mean, YouTube has a 1 billion active users. I don't know how many video makers it's got, but it's probably got 1,000 times more video makers than it used to. And it's got people, and also people are now better at making videos. People make professional quality level videos now than they used to. So the options are all there for you to do it. And plus, once you cover a certain subject, it's like if someone made a video today and said, "Oh, I'm going to do a video debunking creationism." It's like fucking pointless, mate. Why? We've got 400 million of them. Doesn't matter how fucking good it is. What's the point? We've got. I'm going to make a video, and this is the problem that a lot of people have. Is like something becomes popular, everyone starts doing it, or a lot of people start doing it, and then that fucking waters the market down. I will say this though, I've noticed that in recent years, in the last year or so, there's been a balance redressed in terms of the amount of views to the amount of subs. Because when I started on YouTube, it was very common for you to have a lot more views than you had subscribers. If you had 1,000 subscribers and you made a video, you'd probably get 3 times as many views as you had subscribers. As YouTube grew and grew and grew, that suddenly changed. And generally you start getting, it alters depending on each video. But now I've noticed it's gone back up again. I've noticed it's gone, I remember one point, I mean, even though I had 26,000 subs on my Coughlin 616 channel, I would be lucky to scrape 7,000 views. I've got 11,000 subs on this channel, and if you look at my videos going back January, a lot of them are around there, and quite a few of them are way above that. So I don't know. So I don't know whether it's going through. I don't know whether there's a different, because the conversation's changed, because the dynamics have changed. I honestly don't know what it is, but there's definitely there's definitely or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm making better videos. Maybe I'm making better point. I don't know what it is, but there's definitely been a dynamic change over the course of that period.
No, it's very interesting. I mean, I remember, I think I found your channel, one of your channels a year or two ago, and it was they were different types of videos. They were you talking about specific users and drama that was going on there. And there's less of that now. Yeah. It's more taking a subject and discussing that, which is exactly what H-Bomb and Sean and Jen and Lady Columbia does, and all those kind of people, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I have a problem. The thing about me is like I always try. I mean, I'm one of those people. I work better when I've got something to go off. So when I've got something to respond to, this is why the better videos I have done tend to be videos where I'm responding to something. It's like you look at that Chris Ray Gun video. I could have made that on its own without mentioning Chris Ray Gun, but it wasn't until I saw Chris Ray Gun's tweets that I thought, "What's going on?" You know, that's what put it in my head, and I'm better at respond. I'm the same when I'm watching someone else, like on who can explain something, but I'll probably drift off and get bored. Whereas when I'm watching someone, like I find it much easier to learn something when someone is explaining why what this person said is stupid and what is actually the right. Because I think it's important when you're having an argument, not just to know what the facts and the reality is. It's also important to know what the lies and the distortions are. It's no good just like, because you might know what evolution is, but a creationist might say something at you and you don't know what you're supposed to say to it. So it's easier to fucking learn it that way through it. And that's the thing about me is I always tend to find, so I'll still get involved and comment on it because the interest, you know, I'm interested in and you can call it drama or whatever. I don't care whether people like drama or not. It's everyone most people like drama. Drama's like wrestling. You know, but even people who claim they don't like it are generally really secretly enjoying it. You know, they're making a big deal about it. But yeah, I find I just work better when I've got something to work off of. I can explain it better rather than just making a video on a certain subject with no sort of nothing I'm responding to.
Yeah, I think a good version of that is when you did your Nazi memorabilia video a couple of months ago. It's well produced. You were there in the middle of the swastika, and it was just, you know, it's really funny and it's different. That's what it was. It's different.
I think it was well produced by my standards, by the standards of my, which is a very low bar we're setting here. I mean, my videos couldn't be. There was a period where my videos couldn't have been worse if you made them on a box brownie with like a big cloth over it and a tray, like a big tray of powder, and that was really the only the way they could have been any worse. But I tend to deliberately do that. I mean, I tend to I'm not too interested in having the right lighting or getting a fucking, because I tend to think my videos, I want my videos to stand and fall on their own merit, on the merit of the content of what I've written or whatever. I don't want it to stand on the fact that, oh, it looks good, great colors, lighting, you know, oh, it's all very well edited, it's using green screen. I don't give a shit. You know, if you've got something, you know, you tend to get a more real audience then, you know, because this audience ain't with me because I'm serving them. I'm not serving them their warm diarrhea back to them. You know what I mean? I'm not treating them like idiots and going, right, I've got to get this down to 7 minutes, and there's got to be a million jump cuts, and I've got to be over here, and I've got to be over here, and I've got to throw some memes and some cats in there just to fucking get it in. I don't do that. So I think that's how you sort of that's my sort of take on it. But
yeah, do you at this juncture, do you want to carry on for a little bit more? I've got like at least one more question I'd like to ask you.
You can ask one more question. I am going to have to go because I've got to go in a bit because I've got to finish writing my podcast for when it's done. But you know, you can carry on. Let's go. Has anyone got any questions? You got 30 seconds. Nothing. Not a bloody thing.
Like most chats, they were just talking about completely other things that we were talking about anyway.
This is what I did in Blog TV. When Blog TV was around, I never understood why people made an effort to produce a show on Blog TV because no one ever fucking paid any attention. I remember I once set up this whole thing to do a show on Blog TV. I wrote something and then I just gave up after 10 minutes because everyone in the fucking chat was arguing about Pokemon. For the whole thing, no one was listening or talking about anything I was saying. They were just talking. Matt was there. I remember him. He was fucking not helping. They were talking about bloody Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Or whatever this other fucking shit is. know Michael Brooks. I don't know. I actually don't know Michael Brooks. I know Michael Brooks from the. He's talking about Michael Brooks from the Majority Report. I know he called me my good friend Dick Coughlin. We don't actually know each other. He follows me on Twitter. He's retweeted a lot of my stuff. We've had a little back and forth on Twitter. But yeah, we haven't actually.
Was that Rubin video from yesterday that you were talking about?
Yes, that was him. Why do I keep giving you money? Films that you... What is that? What is this in the chat now?
That is what's called a super chat, I believe. And that is when someone gives you money, even though we haven't earned it.
What? Why do I keep giving... Well, I want £2.50 off you, cunt. Why do I keep giving you money?
You can have it.
Films that you're excited for, if any.
I'll go one better. We do 70-30 because you've done most of the talking. You get a whole 350.
Okay, you don't know. Films are excited for. What films are coming out? I don't know. I don't know what's coming out.
I can only give you superhero films because that's all I'm obsessed about.
Well, you see, here's the thing about superhero films that piss me off, right? I've tried with several superhero films to get into them, right? And I know that they're good, right, in the way that, but the problem is now we live in this planet where every superhero film is in its own little fucking universe. And if you're someone like me who doesn't follow these universes, and hasn't watched all these films, you go into like, I went to see Captain America, the last one, and it was good, but I just felt like I was completely fucking out of the freaking loop with a lot of stuff. I didn't feel like I was involved in it because I haven't seen all the Iron Man films. I haven't seen Ant-Man or Spider-Man or fucking, or whatever. I felt like the film started at a point where I'd missed a load of shit, and that's my annoying thing. And I'm not a massive superhero, but, I like some of them, but I just feel that this annoying thing of everything's got to be in a fucking universe. Whereas what I liked about something like Deadpool stood on its own as a film. It did. And the problem, then you got things like Suicide Squad, which stood on their own kind of, but the problem with Suicide Squad is there was like a million different fucking characters that had to be introduced, and you connected with none of them. You didn't. I got bored shitless watching that film. What films are coming out? Let's have a look for film. Well, Transformers is currently out. Or I'll tell you the best film. The best films I've seen so far this year. Trainspotting 2 is the best film so far. I will say that good. One. Really good. Mindhorn is quite a funny film. See that one?
Yes. I hope that's still out because that's one independent film, and I really want to see it. But only now have I remembered about it when you said it. You can
find it online. You can find. I saw it online, and there is a copy of it online somewhere. Movie releases UK 2017. Let's fucking answer it. The guy's paid a $5. We've got to answer this fucking question.
Yeah. Right. Personally, okay. I'd say Thor, and followed by Justice League in November, and then there's another Star Wars in December. The previous one, as in the proper Star Wars, was nah, but this one's hopefully better. Hopefully it's a bit more like Rogue One. And over to you, Dick.
Okay, so what we got? My Life as a Courgette. No. No. Don't Transformers. No. Fucking Transformers.
James is saying it's the worst £5 he's ever spent. I think that's fair enough.
Well, well, to be fair, we didn't ask you for it. You could have asked that for nothing, and we would have answered it. If you
careful. Wait, Dick. You've made £3.50, so just watch your mouth, okay?
I know, but all I'm saying is this. I haven't even finished answering yet. You can't just calm your boots, man. All I'm saying is we never asked. I thought that was a joke, right? That fucking super chat thing. When I heard that, I thought this is taking the piss, isn't it? Paying money. This is like that fucking MP's cash for questions scandal. Do you remember that one? You're gonna get people asking themselves their own fucking question. Spider-Man, yeah, Spider-Man's here. There's literally nothing here I can fucking read. Planet of the Apes, maybe. Maybe I might watch that.
I think the answer to the question is probably what it's been for the last year and a half, 2 years. Is what remake can you bother to go and see at the cinema? Because that's all it is: remake. So Planet of the Apes.
I'm not bothered. I don't mind about remakes as much. You don't have to go see them. There's plenty of stuff out there you can watch, and plus, people forget a lot of things. Like there's a remake of Ben-Hur this year. and everyone got their knickers in the chicken. Oh, they're remaking Ben-Hur, but the original Ben-Hur was also a remake. I think they've been remade like 5 times. I mean, Ben-Hur started off as a play, as a live show. So there's always different.
Someone just said should give them a refund. Do you know what? I think that's actually a possibility. I was pissing about with it last time I did a stream. I think you can actually give refunds.
I think you should. Actually, I think we should charge him more. Son of Bigfoot. There's literally nothing here I can see.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't I just ask you a different question and we'll get away from this.
Okay. Oh my god! Because I want to know an inconvenient sequel with Al Gore. Who does not want to watch that? Who would go to the cinema to watch inconvenient sequel? That's miserable, isn't it? Yeah, there's nothing. I've just gone through all the releases for this year, and there is absolutely bugger all I can find.
So, Pussy Lord said, if I paid £5, would you hold up a sign with an ironic anti-Semitic hate message?
Dude, for £5, I would kill a Jew live on camera for you with my own bare hands. I would deep fry a Jew baby right here for you live in batter, just for £2.50. And I'll do it
for £1.50.
Yeah, there you go then. So there you go. Between us, we'll do one each, and you've saved 50p. There you go. For £5, you could fuck my arsehole with half a milk bottle, and I'd probably be too. I'd be fine with that. Do you think Computing Forever should take a sociology lesson at university? Well, if he wants to fail it, I don't think any of these people should go anywhere. I think Computing Forever. I've heard that name, but he's not on my radar as much. I know what he is. I don't know. Why didn't I ask that? James is complaining. Okay, James. You can give the £5 to whoever asked that question.
Someone asked, what's rational porn? I don't understand what that would be. Like,
what's rational porn? I don't know. Well, I mean, what's irrational porn? You'd have to ask as well. I don't know how rationality comes. I mean, logic has never played a big part in porn.
Right.
I mean, if life was like porn, then porn wouldn't exist, would it? I mean, that's kind of the.
I think people have run out of. Look, I wanted to ask you one more question, which was very simply: do you think you and Dusty are going to be friends in the future?
For those who don't know, over the last couple of days, I've tweeted out several things that have been retweeted by Cult of Dusty, and let me actually read you the 2 tweets he sent me. He sent me 2 tweets. I've got copies of them here. I will be putting these in a time capsule for future reference. Where are they? Okay, here's there's the first one. Where's the second one? I can't find it now. God, I've got so much. I screen cap so much horse shit throughout the course of my day that I completely lose track of it. Here it is. The first one he sent me is, God, I just liked a Dick Coughlin tweet. What the fuck is going on in the universe? Now, first of all, he's invoking God's name there. That's Cult of Dusty doing that. It's not very logical. Secondly, he spelt my name wrong. But I'm gonna give him. It says, "What the fuck else is going on in this universe?" And then a few days later, I sent out another one that he retweeted, and he said, "Where was it?" He said, "Dick, please stop this, Dick. You've talked so much shit about me over the years. I really don't want to like you. Please stop making me." Do you know what? That's it. It takes a while, but I finally got the buzz. He's there. Do you know what? Dusty, if you're watching this, you're there, son. You're there. You're just going to be... I knew it would... You will be mine. Oh, yes, you will be.
Yeah. Your new racist best friend.
He's my new pet. He's my new pet project. I'm gonna. I'd like to. I know it's probably got nothing to do with me, and even then, I still stand by what I said in my first video about it. Like, I'm still not convinced. I've got to take everything. I'm still convinced I've got to take everything with a pinch of salt with him. And he still says a lot of stuff. Like, he made a video not that long ago. He made a video very recently saying that Ice Cube was a racist shithead because he doesn't like it when white people say the word nigger. I mean, which he has this video, which is one of those videos he keeps making. Like, he has this big bee in his bonnet about people who don't like it when white people say that word. And I'm like, is that honestly fucking up your day so badly? You know, what do you do that requires you to say that so often that it would be an issue for you? You know, nihilistic porn, objectivist porn, feminist porn already exists. There's loads of it. You just look it up. Just look. Yeah, it's women with great big pubic bushes and, you know, drinking pints of bitter in their Doc Martens with no tits, just punching men in the dick for an hour. That's all it is.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah, I'd star in it
for £5 or less.
For £5. Depends who's doing the punching. It could take him an hour at least just to get round. If she doesn't break her fist, she doesn't break her knuckles on it in the process. Let's go then, Dick. Okay. That's what it's going to be called. Old British porn is the best porn. Oh my God, are you getting porn nostalgia? Someone there. Old British, you know what? Good old. This is a UKIP voter right here. Oh, I miss all the old British porn. Anarchist porn. No doms, no masters, no boundaries. Start a white genocide porn with me.
It's all lovely and weird in the chat. I like it when they say.
Yeah, I say, God forbid God forbid a conversation, Messiah. I really wasted my fiver asking a question when I could have got Jew baby burning and feminist porn stars punching people. One of my favorite jokes ever, and not just on YouTube but ever, was a guy called Asrianok, where he made this video response. There was this woman called Cassie Dill too, who was a bit kooky and gone in the head, and she made this thing about how feminists just want to destroy the family and kill babies, and, you know, let everyone having abortion and kill babies. And he responded saying, you know, I agree with you when you say that feminists want to kill babies, but we should remember there's feminism and then there's feminazism. And whilst feminazism is bad, I don't think it's as bad as feminism, because at least feminazis are only trying to kill Jew babies. I thought that was the greatest joke. Feminists want to kill all the babies, which is objectively worse. What is wrong? Slang for a pound or something. What's a quid? A quid is a pound. A quid is like a buck. Third world positionist porn. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is a third world positionist porn? This is just this. We've now done that thing. This is the point. This happens in every live show where the show becomes the chat, and the person doing the live show becomes the audience. Which is great. It's great when the show is live, but when people watch this back, it's always the point where all they see, because they can't see the chat, because YouTube doesn't save the pissing chat anymore, so people can't go back and read what they're seeing. I
will say this for people watching not live. We apologise collectively. However, for me, I had to close all the doors and windows because we got some toddlers living next door, and all of the shit we were talking about today, they don't need to hear that, right? So I've been slowly sweating my bollocks off with the 30 degrees outside. Imagine how hot it is in here. I have to turn the fucking fan off so you can hear me, all that kind of stuff. And so I'm pretty much dripping to death right now.
Yeah, we're all dripping. We're dripping. Do you like that? No, we could. Look, if you're gay and you're into bears, this is a perfect one for you. You've just got sweaty bearded men, sweaty bearded British men.
Right, any more questions on the chat? Otherwise,
we're just literally listing different types of political pornography now. Dog whistle porn.
We are.
No, you don't want to. I'd watch porn with Thunderfoot and that porn chick who loves him, Mercedes something. Mercedes something. Yeah, Thunderfoot's a cuck. He's not even a cuck. He's a cuck's cuck. He's like a cuck watches someone else fuck his wife. Thunderfoot watches other men watching someone else fuck their wife. That's how much of a cuck he is. While shouting, Anita! Yeah. It's like at the end of Rocky. Anita! That's what he went. Every time he comes, there's black clouds and thunder, and he goes, Sarkeesian! He's photoshopped her face over the faces of the women in the films, in Serbian film. Had to take it out. You had to go that fucking one step too far, didn't you? He wants to clone her so he can make an Anita fucking human, an Anitapede. Right? He's gonna make a human Sarkeesian pede in the fucking walking around his front room. You can just rest a drink on her, crawl around. I'm kind of hoping that Pornhub goes down tonight because that's what I'll be thinking of in its place, basically. Cat Black versus Blair White porno. Do you know what? I'd watch that. I don't know what I'd be thinking, but I'd be interested. Right? I would tune in. I don't think though either of them will be up for it. I'm just going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to suggest that neither Cat Black nor Blair White will be interested in pitching that. I mean, Blair White probably enough money will probably do anything, but Haitian slave revolt porn, Paul Joseph Watson map porn, topographical map porn of Paul Joseph Watson. So it's actually 3D. Imagine my surprise. It's just him sneaking up on women. Joseph Watson, when he's at home wanking, does he eventually say, imagine my sock or something like that? Is that a joke? I don't know. I don't want to imagine Paul Joseph Watson doing anything. I mean, I don't like the stuff that I've seen him actually do. I can't imagine the stuff that I don't want to fantasize about Paul Joseph Watson. I only have a certain limited amount of time that I can actually, I can actually think of stuff that is fantasy. And Paul Joseph Watson should not be involved in any of it. War Corpse clock porn. What is that? Clocks? Is that porn based around War Corpse's clocks, a story, or is it actual War Corpse's clocks having sex with each other? It's probably not far off of what actually happens in his house. Well, someone's just written, well, imagine my cock. There you go. Well, that's what I should have said. Well, you'd have to. I'm lowering myself to his level now. I'm making jokes about it. I'll be doing mum jokes next. I've already done those, in all fairness to it. I have already done Paul Joseph Watson mum joke. I think it was, I said, he was going on about divorce. And I said, listen, Paul, the only reason your parents didn't divorce is neither of them wanted fucking custody of you. So they decided they stayed together for their own fucking sanity. They're going to both suffer. Alex Jones now has full custody of Paul Joseph Watson. Anyway, I think we should go now. I'm going to go. Let's end it there. Right, thank you very much for being on this shambolic piece of shit. I couldn't have it any other way. Thank you for watching, everybody. Right, I'll link to Dick's channel below, etc. And you know who I am. Yeah, I'm sure they do. But just in case there's some newbies here, I'll leave a link below and all the stuff we talked about, and then I'll be PayPaling him about £4.25 in a minute. Okay.
Right, see you guys.
Right. Do you know how to tell off air? We're going to sit here for 15 minutes.
Hang on, give me a fucking minute. Yeah.